So week 7 is over and we're going to head into week 8, which I decided should be maintenance week. Now what is maintenance week? Well, we'll talk about at the end. Let's first recap some of week 7 as I prepare today's dinner, first day of maintenance week. So week 7, what do we have? Oh, we left off with those garlic mashed, cucumber, garlic mashed cauliflower, and Happy Healthy Wife liked it. Happy Healthy Mother-in-law really liked it. You know, Happy Healthy daughter also really liked it. Happy Healthy Son said it wasn't as good as mashed potatoes, and of course not, but he wouldn't want to replace it that way, but it was passable and it was good. We did a much better job this time. A little longer in the steamer, so 20 minutes, and that was good. Let's check the this cucumber's fresh. This was good. Longer in the steamer, made it softer, easier to mash. That was a hit. Oh, the green bean casserole. Green bean casserole. So you know, green bean casserole, I don't use the can of mushroom soup version. I make my own sauce, my own version. I found one online which was really good, using bacon as the. I could have probably used less bacon actually to make the roux, to make the nice sweet and savory cream sauce that went on the green beans. Loved by all, really good. It was a little lighter than I've usually made in the past, which was also good, a little healthier. And the lobster and the tomahawk, of course, those are excellent. Those are always good. The difference was, instead of eating it all, we had a lot of leftover, which was good because that was what the diet plan was saying, you know. We did eat a little more than usual, but we also were able to save those for leftover. You might be wondering, so where's my weight now this week? Well, let's see. Take a look at me now. What do you think? Do you think I've lost any weight? Hard to say, maybe. Can you see the difference? Take a look at my first video compared to now. Or take a look at my previous videos compared to now, like the ones when I was in Thailand, or any of those videos. Can you see a difference? Happy Healthy Wife and Happy Healthy Mother-in-Law both say they see a difference. I haven't really noticed much of a difference myself, but they both seem to say that there is a difference, that I'm looking thinner. So, you know, and the scales do actually back up their claim. The scales say I am around in the 255 range. So from when we started, probably about 10 pounds lost. It depends on the day. There's water weight difference according to, well, that's what you can find out through the internets. Water weight could be a difference. One of the reasons why there might be a difference could be the water weight, could be other things. What time of day you weigh yourself, as well as what you're wearing. These are all factors. And I tend to have like the same clothes on in the morning when I weigh myself. But like if I weigh myself in the afternoon like I did today, you know, my clothes aren't necessarily going to be the same as when I weighed myself in the morning. I didn't just use the restroom usually, so it might be a little more water weight in there involved. So it's hard to say exactly where I am. Usually my weight fluctuates 1 to 2 pounds per day or so. Yeah, so I'd say anywhere from up to 10 to 12 pounds, how much I've lost so far. So that's been, you know, I mean, it's nice to have less weight on the scale. Still need to get a lot more down. But that's the weight part. Oh, what else do we have last week? Remember, I was excited about the pizza. The pizza, oh, it was actually good. I didn't use like your standard Italian meats. Didn't no pepperoni, no salami, no sausage. Instead, it was just chicken breasts. That was one I just bought from the store. And you can also use like a Costco rotisserie chicken, put it on. That works as well. But it was chicken breast, and it was a lot of veggies. We always load up my pizzas with veggies. I love the veggies, the mushrooms, the bell pepper, the onion slices. Those are all great pizza toppings. And added some spinach as well. Went with just a regular standard store-bought sauce. And wheat pizza bread go underneath. And what can I say, but they were good. They were good. They weren't the same as what you know, when I put on the pepperoni. Of course, there isn't like as much fatty feel. It did feel like a healthier pizza. I will say, I'll be honest, it did taste healthier. And it was also filling. You know, that's one thing I talk about, is that whenever you're working on a diet, eating these diet foods, you're likely to feel hungry. And many days I do feel hungry. It just depends on what I'm doing. Am I busy? Am I walking? Am I working out? Are other things going on in my life? If other things are going on and I'm busy, then I don't feel as hungry because I'm occupied mentally with something else. But in this case, you know, for the pizza, I wasn't really feeling hungry. Then there were some other dishes we had. Oh, the other one I was looking forward to, I mentioned, what was that other one? So there was the pizza day. And there was the red simmered chicken wings. We talked about that one, yes. Red simmered chicken wings. So that one was another good day. Lightened up how many chicken wings? We kept the skin on. So that means we had to eat less wings because there's lots of fat in that skin, but also lots of flavor. Still good. Still good. No concern. So, red simmered wings. You know, cinnamon soy sauce, some sugar. Tasted really flavorful. It's really nice. I added some, you know, normal rice as well. One thing I've changed a little bit, because before I wasn't always eating the recommended amount of rice that was recommended to me in the diet plan. So, you know, it recommends 3/4 a cup every day during my days when I'm losing weight. So I would often actually just drop it down a little bit, maybe to a 1/2 cup, which is how much Happy Healthy Wife is supposed to have. And so I think that might have been one of the reasons why I was feeling a little more hungry after the meals. So I went back up. I decided, okay, I should probably eat more rice. That'll probably make it a little more filling, because that rice is not white rice. It doesn't fly away in your stomach. It's the whole grain stuff. It's the, you know, the whole wheat type of rice. So it's a lot more in there, which means it'll probably keep me fuller longer. So I started to pick it up and add a little more rice. And so that probably helped. But then when we had the shrimp with black bean sauce. We love a good black bean sauce. And I made a little too much black bean sauce when I made it. And I did a little different than I usually do. So it wasn't the best shrimp with black bean sauce I've ever had. But it was still pretty good. And loaded with vegetables, lots of onions, lots of bell peppers. We even added zucchini to add more vegetables to help fill it up. Because I noticed that's one thing that the AA has done with our diet. They have added zucchini, lots of it, for a more filling, satisfying feeling. And instead of potatoes, you know, potatoes don't really, well, actually potatoes are kind of starchy, so that's why you avoid potatoes. And because they're going to make you feel hungry pretty fast. So that's why we don't do potatoes. For that are the Kung Pao. So I was using that, and the zucchini didn't really work, I'll be honest, with the black bean sauce. Other vegetables were great. Shrimp was really good, a little too black bean saucy. But we'll fix it for next time. But yeah, it was good. But the reason why I really want to bring that up is because it left me a little bit hungry. I'll be honest, it was a little bit hungry. So right now you're wondering, what am I making? What am I getting ready? So cucumber was part of the plan today. This is maintenance week. Cucumber is part of the plan. But before we get to this, there's one more thing I want to talk about. Oh, one thing is not sponsored by AI, not sponsored by Claude, though I have been giving its praises here and there and enjoying Claude. We're not sponsored by Claude. We are just using it. We paid for it. We're using it to help us see if it works. Will it help us lose the weight that we've been dying to lose for years now? You know, at least 5 to 10 years. And it is helping us shape the way we do things, the way I fix food, the way I cook, the way I portion out meals now, instead of just setting out a big family style pot in the middle and get what you want, eat all you take. Instead, I actually portion out, especially for Happy Healthy Wife and myself. When it's the two of us especially, I'll always just give how much she gets on her plate. That's why you can see right now, we got 3 plates going. Each person got a huge full cucumber. We're also going to get rice. And what am I doing here? I am cutting up some scallions or green onions, however you want to call them. And this is for the wonderful sauce that I really liked the first time we had it. So I asked AI to give it to us again. And this sauce is called the scallion ginger sauce, ginger scallion sauce. So I looked up how to make it. It's basically ginger, scallions, and oil, and some salt. those are the main ingredients for this sauce. And I really like to have the chicken. You gotta have some flavor if you're gonna use chicken breasts. You gotta put some kind of flavor, otherwise it's gonna be pretty bland if you don't do anything to them. So salt is very helpful. So you're gonna see me cook some chicken breast in a little bit. I'll explain how I've done that. Where we got some, so I'm getting this ready. You're not gonna get to see me cook the sauce. It's not that hard to do. The rice is already cooked and ready to go. So really all I'm doing is getting the ingredients ready to make the sauce. And then I'm gonna cook the chicken. And I will show you a bit how we do the chicken. So right now I'm gonna plug in the grill. And you can see I got my salt and garlic ready for the chicken. I might do pepper as well. I might add some Cajun seasoning to the chicken, depending on what I'm using the chicken for, what it's gonna go on top of. That depends on how I'm gonna season it, but definitely gotta add salt and garlic. Those two are gonna be on the chicken when I cook them. That's almost always a thing. Sometimes pepper, just depends. So we can hear the grill heating up a bit there. So we're gonna let that heat up while I finish cutting the scallions, and I'll get the ginger going. Because we're gonna have a lovely, wonderful, flavorful ginger green onion sauce on top, right on top of the chicken. And if you're wondering about, I just take the vegetables and start cutting them, what's going on here? Well, because the way we're recording this, I pre-wash all vegetables, so it's already pre-washed, ready to go, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So all I do is just get everything ready, and then I just slice stuff up that we need. So don't worry about the, were they washed? Yes, everything was washed. You can see the chicken over here. I was getting ready. So that's a good stack of scallions. So it's going to be using sesame oil. So what we're going to do is one of this. I'll let you know how it works. Heat up the oil. You add in the ginger, and then you add in. It's plain oil. We're going to add sesame oil to finish for the extra flavor of the sesame oil. That's also why it's very tasty. Oh, let's see how much ginger we want. Let's go with. We're going to go with this amount of ginger right here. This looks like a good amount. Maybe a little more. We'll see. We'll see when I start grating up how much it is. So that's where we're going. Let's see. This week, week 8, it is maintenance. We got lots of good news. Now, what is maintenance week? You're probably wondering. I mentioned I was going to talk to you about. So I was going through AI. I'm like, When we first were working on the menus, it mentioned, in about 6 or 8 weeks, you want to do a maintenance week. Like, maintenance week, what's maintenance? It sounds so strange. You're like, what, maintenance? But it's really based on maintain. So there's a certain point in your diet, you're going to stop eating calorie deficit, and you're going to, you want to maintain where you are, hence maintenance. Now, why is it only maintenance week? Well, because according to, I guess, the research, according to the AI we're using, what has to happen is your body says, wait a minute, we're in calorie deficit mode here. Gotta slow our metabolism down. Gotta keep the, gotta keep the weight you're going. Can't use as much fat, and so it slows metabolism, or does something, so that as you start eating less, it doesn't affect your weight. So what is maintenance week? So we're going to ramp up the calories back up to like close to, I think I'm very close, if not a 2,500 calorie diet again. What you're supposed to have to maintain your current weight. So that's what's going on. So this is maintenance week. So the portions, there's more meat gonna be eaten. So it's gonna be as if, so we're gonna see, am I still gonna be hungry through maintenance week? Because when you think about it, if we're doing this maintenance work, we're trying to do a maintaining weight. If I've dropped some weight and I go to a maintenance plan, I should be able to not be hungry anymore, right? And the whole point of dieting is to lose weight, and the whole point of being hungry is so that you can lose the weight because you're deficit. But then, once you've lost your weight, you should be able to eat without being hungry, right? So we're going to have to test this week out, see how well it does. Am I going to be able to, am I going to feel hungry on next week when you see me in week 8? Will I feel hungry? I don't know. That's what we're trying to find. Let's see, how much ginger is that? That's a pretty good amount of ginger. Do I want a little more? Maybe I'll cook one more right here. We got to go. So yeah, so this is maintenance. We got some really good meals in the works. Happy Healthy Daughter has returned home from college, so we've actually tailored some of the meal. One thing I do is I tailor the week's meal. I say, hey, give me a week's worth of food, and it spit out a whole week's worth of meals that we can eat. But I said, we don't like that dish very much. I don't really like this dish. Basically, there were only 2 dishes that the AI pumped out for this week that I said, I like those. I want to keep those. It pumped out, let's see, garlic butter shrimp scampi. I said, oh, yeah, let's keep that one. And it pumped out something else. I think it also pumped out this chicken Hainanese one. This is something that I had like in week 1. I think it was when I did this one before, in week 1. And so I said, oh, that one's good. We can put that. I can do this one too. And I said, but the others, let's change them out. So what do I do instead? So here's what I asked for. I asked for, all right, let's see. How about some chicken empanadas? And for that one, I gave it the recipe that I used on my website, happyhealthywife.net, on my YouTube channel. You can watch me make chicken empanadas. I said, okay, here's the recipe that I use. Can you modify it to fit our diet needs? And it basically said, oh, okay. Basically, the only change I made was making wheat flour for the empanada. But I usually don't do that. So I'm going to use the Goya still, Discos, the frozen ones, like I usually do. So we got that going. What else do we got going? We got salmon. Oh, that was the only thing that I kept on, that I had on. I was like, oh, I like the salmon. We'll do the salmon. Give me some nice herb-crusted salmon. So that one we left on there. But then I said, I also, you know what I want? I want to have chicken tandoori on my list. And I said, okay, here's the chicken tandoori. Put that in there. I have a recipe I'm going to use for it. And I also said, you know what? Are nachos able to fit on our list? Is there a way we can have nachos? And it said, yes, you can do nachos. But it wants us to use a wheat tortilla type base, or wheat chips. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. Oh, another thing about maintenance week, instead of 1 snack a day, we're getting 2 snacks a day. So that's going to be a little different. So we're going to double up our snacks to help get the high calories in there. And then we're going to, have a little more at the dinners. Let's see. So today I'm supposed to eat 8 ounces of chicken instead of like the 5 that I might eat usually. So I'm going to take a look. So what I do when we buy the chicken, so I buy these chicken tender, basically very thin chicken breasts from the store. And then what I do is I take it out and I weigh it how much it is. This one is 6.5 ounces. This one is 6.5 ounces. And I have another one that is 6 ounces, which is a little over a pound. I'll admit it's like 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces more than 3 ounces more than a pound. But these are going to be for my dinner and lunch. But I also got so Happy Healthy Wife is supposed to have 5 ounces. Happy Healthy Daughter is 5 ounces. So I've got some of those 5 ounces here. 5 and a 2.8 and a 3. Oh, perfect. So I got 3 5s. And why is it only 3 5s? Well, because Happy Healthy Daughter is going to make a different dish, so not fully in there. So we'll just go ahead and show you how I cook my chicken for a little bit. This is our grill. And you can see we've got this nice little 5 ounces. We're going to start with Happy Healthy Daughter's portions. Because, well, you know what? As I'm thinking about it, we're going to start with my portions. Why? Because I don't mind cold food. And it's going to be a while before we actually eat, so I'm going to start with my cold food. So we separate them out, and usually, depending on if we're going to use it soon or later, I put it in the freezer. So we've got a nice big portion there. 6 ounces right on the George Foreman grill. And I can do 1 more of those, looks like. Nice big portion. So I have to split one in half for dinner tonight, and the other half will be tomorrow's lunch, but that's it. So I put it right on the grill. Perfect. Making up my hands a bit. All right, and then I need to get some tongs. I'll get those in a second. And what I do, we go for the salt. Nice little salt right on top. Get some flavor in there. Get some garlic in there. This side. Put some garlic in there, garlic powder. This is the flavoring I want. Ooh. All right, that'll be enough for both sides. What do you do? And then you close it. And the grills, then we open it up, look at it, flip it. And that's how we're going to, and the juices are going to flow down and be caught into this little catch-all tray. With chicken breast, there aren't very many juices, but if you do like a hamburger, that's a lot of juices that come out there. And you put that, the juices that come out of here, you put it into a jar, put it in the freezer, and throw that away later. So this is going to be what we're doing tonight. A nice Hainanese chicken with a nice ginger scallion sauce. It's going to be delectable. We got cucumbers as part of the dish and rice. Now instead of the 3/4 cup, I now get a cup of rice. And Happy Healthy Wife gets 3/4 cup of rice. So that's kind of how the differences changed for proportions for this week. This week is maintenance week, where we get to eat as much as we're supposed to eat once we've lost all our weight. Why? Because it's supposed to reset our metabolism. It's supposed to make us say, oh, okay, we're not running food deficit. We're not running calorie deficit anymore. All right, so let's keep our full metabolism. Let's enjoy this food, and then it'll reset our metabolism, and hopefully, once we go back to calorie deficit next week, week 9, then we'll be once again losing weight again. So we'll see how maintenance week works, and you can find out if you look at the next one. And if you want to see all my other videos, all the other stuff I've made, go and take a look at this playlist right over here. And that's a great way to keep up with everything we're doing with this AI diet plan. And I'll see you in the next one.